Na 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 na. Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most, and welcome to, what day is it today? Friday's edition of the Movies TV Mad Daily. You can follow me on X, Twitter at Movies TV Mad, on the brand new social media platform Blue Sky. Mick, your host with the most, at Movies TV Mad, and on Instagram and on Threads at Movies TV Mad X. Before I respond to the rumours that James Gunn and Mike DeLuca, the co-CEO of Warner Brothers Pictures, are disagreeing and falling out about the state of the new Superman movie trailer, let's talk about hubris. Let's talk about incompetence. Let's talk about bad marketing. Because your marketing strategy for a film begins not when you officially start marketing a movie, releasing posters and trailers, is from the moment you announce a movie. James Gunn made a huge mistake. Instead of trying to, singing to the choir, instead of, responding to people's questions who already love DC, already love Superman, who already hyped for the DCU, I warned from the beginning not to ignore the TikTok generation, teenagers, Gen Z. Are they Gen Z? Whatever, right? Because my generation and people from around 30, 30 to around my age, 52, to maybe even 60, 65, love Superman. But the younger generation don't find the character relatable. I'm not trying to hate on a character that I love, but these are the facts. So you need someone on TikTok to try and educate and inspire the younger audience to embrace the DCU, which they're not going to do at this moment in time, and embrace Superman. There's an influencer out there. There's a content creator called Matt Ramos, Soups. He does some wonderful content over on TikTok. That's when I first discovered him many, many years ago. The teenagers love him. WB and James Gunn and DC Studios could have paid Matt Ramos, aka Soups, to be doing videos and talking about Superman all day long on TikTok, putting trailers together, from the historical legacy of Superman in live action, talking about comic books. Because having James Gunn on TikTok isn't going to work. Having some old dude on TikTok isn't going to embrace the fandoms, right? The people who might go to the cinema. Now, the problem is the TikTok generation no longer go to the cinema. They've never gone to the cinema. Their form of entertainment is Snapchat and TikTok. So you hit them there, you go on there, you get someone young like Matt Ramos, aka Soups, talking about Superman, talking about the DCU, employing him as a Warner Brothers DC Studios employee. He's an influencer. He has a great reach on TikTok. They could have had him talking about Superman, talking about the history and legacy of Superman. Now, Alfred Gough and Miles Miller, the creators of Smallville, did something amazing back in 2001. They were able to take Superman out of the costume and bring people who were never interested in Superman, who were never going to be interested in Superman, if they never watched Smallville, to be interested in Superman. They took him out of the costume. They kind of borrowed from Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Like Lionel Luthor and Lex Luthor were very, very, how can I say it? They were like the Osborns, basically. They kind of got the Osborn arc, the Norman and Harry Osborn arc. Lex is kind of like Harry Osborn. And Lionel Luthor is influenced heavily, obviously, I don't know this for a fact, by Norman Osborn. It worked. And Tom Welling's Clark Kent is very much kind of like Peter Parker going through this, realistic teenage journey. And doing that inspired young teenagers to turn up. 7 million teenagers on the Smallville pilot watched the Smallville pilot on the old WB. Our Miles created a new generation of Superman fans, but those fans have become older now. And we need to do that again. We need younger people to embrace comic book movies, because Here's the thing, Steven Spielberg predicted a few years back that the comic book genre would end up like the old Western, where people in the end would get fed up of it. The reason people got fed up of the old Westerns is because they were making any old crap. They were putting anyone in a cowboy hat and putting them on a horse. That was the problem. And this is what's happened again. If we go back to just before the pandemic, which was Birds of Prey, most films in the genre have failed, give or take, Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man No Way Home. Apart from those movies, most of them, post-Endgame, have failed, whether we're talking about the MCU or the old DCEU. There's a reason for that. The movies haven't been as good as they once was, because entertainment isn't as good as it once was. So this is what James Gunn could have done. He could have put Matt Ramos on the case over on TikTok, and he hasn't embraced the TikTok generation. That is going to be a huge problem. There's no point trying to convert the choir. The choir's already converted. You've got to try and get a reach. Anyway, yesterday, rumours surfaced that Mike DeLuca, the co-CEO of Warner Brothers Pictures, had a look at James Gunn's edit that he wants to be kind of released as the Superman trailer for his Superman movie. Now, Mike DeLuca said to him, go back and make it better. Now, I don't really like to get involved with militant fans, whether they're Snyder militant fans, and I love Zack Snyder in the DCEU. And I think James Gunn is a great, capable writer-director, and I've enjoyed everything he's done in the CB Engineer. But I don't like to get involved with militant fans because they can be very threatening, very intimidating. But, here's the thing. There's fans of James Gunn saying that Mike DeLuca should be fired because most of the films at WB haven't made any money. If you actually knew anything about anything, most of the films that have been released in the past couple of years weren't even greenlit by Adby and DeLuca, right? All those DCEU movies that were released and failed had nothing to do with Adby and DeLuca. You want a man to be fired for telling his subordinate to do his damn job. So we don't know if this is true. Far too much fuss is being, happening on the internet over this trailer. I've never heard so much nonsense spoken about a trailer. If this movie is as good as his fans claim it is, as good as James Gunn claims it is, because I think he's getting other people to edit the trailer together. I don't know if he's making the decisions. I don't remember the people at WB telling Bryan Singer or Zack Snyder to go back and make the trailer better. You know why? Because they knew what they were doing. Zack Snyder's trailers for the Snyderverse were always outstanding. Bryan Singer's trailers for Superman Returns were outstanding. All of them, right? It shouldn't be people at DC Studios editing this trailer together. It should be James Gunn. Unfortunately, James Gunn's been very busy, not only making a Superman movie, but doing Series 2 of Peacemaker. Was it a good idea, as I said many moons ago, to do these things so close together, right? He's very good at multitasking, but not even he can make a blockbuster movie, a second series of a hit TV show, and put together a trailer and promote Creature Commandos, which is coming out in around, a week's time. This trailer, according to Trailer Track and Collider, is coming out in a couple of weeks' time. Are you telling me a couple of weeks' time we're supposed to be getting a trailer that WB and DC Studios and James Gunn can't agree on? What a mess. If this film is as good as they claim it is, there shouldn't be a problem here. Sit in a booth, James Gunn, put your trailer together. I said the other day what I want to see from the trailer is the gee-whiz quality of Superman, some emotional elements. Now, they're going to want to show you some gags. Now, I think the problem with showing jokes in a trailer is once you've seen a joke once, you need a joke to hit you the first time. Once you see it again and again and again, and we're going to watch these trailers repeatedly, right, the joke's not going to be funny. So if I was them, I'd leave the humour for the actual movie. That would be me. Show some action. Show us the Fortress of Solitude if you want. Show us a few things. It's not rocket science what a great trailer is, right? Show people what Superman can do. We've had great trailers for Smallville. Go on the YouTube and see the previously on Smallville kind of edits. They're amazing. They look like movie trailers themselves. So I don't understand. If this is true, that Mike DeLuca told James Gunn to go back and make it better. And by the way, it's not a big deal. And I'm hearing things like, yeah, there's multiple cuts of this trailer. It's normal. There's multiple cuts of movies. There's multiple cuts of trailers. This is a normal thing. I don't even know why you're reporting this. This doesn't mean the trailer's a mess, by the way. But even if you make a great trailer, it doesn't mean the movie's great. A trailer is simply marketing. It's not there for our enjoyment. It's there for us to see it. It's supposed to be a kind of hypnosis, if you like, to try and convince us that the movie we're going to see is really, really good. It's just marketing. We make a big deal out of posters and trailers these days. Of course, we are excited. Fans are excited to see this trailer. It will be our first look at a movie we're highly and hugely anticipating. But some of the nonsense being spoken. So do I think that necessarily this trailer is a mess like some are reporting? No. A lot of people on the internet, a lot of scoopers and people like me, know this trailer is coming very, very soon. Maybe sooner than in 2 weeks. So some people may be making up crap. This may not be true. Because this is Warner Brothers, right? And as I said on the top of the show, they could have got someone like Soups to go on TikTok and educate teenagers about Superman. But instead, they decided better public relations would be to cancel Superman and Lois. Let's see how that works out. So my take is, don't panic about the trailer. Like the film, just wait until you consume it. Let's wait and see. It's a great conversation piece, but ultimately, it's just a trailer I can't wait to see.